Hey everybody! So we're headed into the first week of regular season NHL action, and like I announced yesterday in that video announcing a new video series, it's time for the first episode of NHL Locks of the Week, where I pick usually 5, but because it's a short week, I'm only doing 3 this week, but most weeks it will be 5 games that I think are virtual locks for who I can pick the winner for. And I'm going to be keeping track of my record all season long. This should be a really fun video series, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's get right into it with my 3 picks, my 3 locks for this week. Starting on October 2nd, opening night of the NHL season, I think it's a virtual guarantee that the Vancouver Canucks beat the Edmonton Oilers in Edmonton on opening night. I am really, really high on Vancouver this year. I love the additions they made in the offseason. I think they really made that team better. Obviously, Elias Pettersson is one of the best young players in the NHL. Bo Horvat's a really underrated player. Brock Besser, good young goal scorer. But they've added Michael Furland, who brings toughness and a really, solid power forward goal scoring wise as well into that lineup. They've added JT Miller through trade with Tampa Bay. They've added Tyler Myers and Jordy Ben to the back end to fill out that defense. I think Vancouver is a playoff team this year. I think they're a lot better than they have been the last couple of years. And I think Vancouver starts the season on the right note, beating Edmonton on opening night, October 2nd. October 3rd, the Nashville Predators over the Minnesota Wild. This is a guarantee in my mind. Nashville at home, coming off a very disappointing first-round exit to the Dallas Stars in the playoffs last year. Added Matt Duchene in the offseason to solidify their center position with Johansson and Duchene as their 1-2 punch at center. I think Nashville comes back with a vengeance this year. They're a very well-coached team. They've got their great defense. Even without PK Subban, their defense is fantastic. They've added some offense. Peter Laviolette is one of my favorite and I think one of the best coaches in the NHL. Nashville is going to have a big year. There is no way they lose at home in their home opener on the 3rd. I think they come out and they probably just kick Minnesota's you-know-what on Thursday night. So I am riding Nashville very hard in that game. I think they definitely win. And Saturday, October 5th, my last one for this week, Colorado over the Minnesota Wild. The Minnesota, I think they finished last in the Central Division this year. I'm not very high on them. They don't have a lot of offense. And Colorado, all the hype surrounding the Avalanche this year. Cale Makar's first, regular season action at the NHL level. All the, additions they made this offseason. Colorado's probably the most hyped up team headed into this season, I would say. Definitely one of, if not the most hyped up team. I think they're the most hyped up team. So they've got actual expectations now. They've got actual pressure now. And they are going in. They've got a game against Minnesota at home on Saturday. Minnesota, they're my punching bag this week for these locks. But I'm not big on the Wild this year. I don't think they have nearly enough offense. I think goal scoring is going to be a huge issue for them. And that defense is only going to be able to hold up so long. Colorado, they know they've got to get out, on the right foot this season. They can't be slow out of the gate. Everyone will turn on them very quickly if they have a bad start. So I think they know that early in this year is going to be important for them. They need to have a good start. They need to establish themselves in that division, show people that all the hype and all the talk about them is warranted. Obviously, Mikko Rantanen just signed and is back. Nathan McKinnon, Gabe Landeskog, that top line is absolutely phenomenal. Cale Makar, I think, is going to be a dynamic player on their defense. I'm with the hype train. I'm very high on the Avalanche this year. I don't know if they're necessarily, I'm not as high on them, I think, as some people who are predicting division wins, and like they're going to win the division or anything like that. I'm not that high on them. I do think that they are a improved team from last year. I think they are solidly a playoff team, and I think there's no way they're going to lose to Minnesota at home this early in the season against a team that, quite frankly, I think is a last place team in that division. So those are my 3 locks of the week this week. Vancouver opening night, definitely. They've got to get out on the right foot. They've got to start this season strong. Nashville, after the way things ended last year, is going to be back with a vengeance this season. I think they are ready to go from the get-go, and they do not lose their home opener to Minnesota. No chance. And then same Colorado, no chance they lose at home this early in the season to Minnesota. The Wild have been my punching bag, but they've got a tough, schedule to start the year. That's 2 divisional games on the road against superior opponents. I think that's going to be a rough week for the Wild. I don't see them winning either of those games. So Vancouver on October 2nd, book it. Nashville October 3rd, book it. And Colorado October 5th, book it. Those are my locks of the week. We'll see how I do. We'll see what my record is after this first week. Maybe I get all 3 wrong. Who knows? I'm just predicting games here, but I'm pretty confident in those 3 teams in these particular matchups. So that's it for the first episode of NHL Locks of the Week. Again, normally it will be 5 picks, not 3, but because of the short week, the season starting on Wednesday, I only did 3 this week. But can't wait to see how I do with my picks. Can't wait to see how this video series goes. And I think this is going to be really fun to track all year long. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to my Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.